Hi, my name is Eric Pirelli, and this is my individual video project for Ethical Hacking EEL 4789 at FIU, taught by Dr. Pons. For the record, this video is for educational purposes only, and yeah, so I'm going to show you how to access a Windows 7 device that is running Firefox, and we're going to gain access through a vulnerability that Firefox has. Now, I know I said that this video is for educational purposes, and so that means I'm not liable if you use this hack in real life, but for extra measure, this vulnerability is only possible if you're running, your target is running Firefox 3.5, and seeing as we're on Firefox, I think 42 now, there's little to no chance that you'll be able to do this in public or actually utilize this, so I'm not too worried. So let's get started. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just booting up my XP machine and my Kali machine. And just so you know, I'm going to be doing this on through our local network. So if you're looking at how to perform this exploit through public network, I can't help you out. Also, I've been told to inject humor into this video, but I don't believe in forcing humor. But then again, I need this grade, so every now and then I'll have a break for a terrible, terrible joke that I'll make up on the spot, just to keep things interesting. Okay, logging in. Okay, a couple of assumptions. Like I said earlier, your target would have to be running Firefox version 3.5, which is an incredibly old version of Firefox that was around in 2010. So we're just going to be using this vulnerability because it's one of the better ways to gain access to a Windows 7 operating system that I know of, at least. Okay, so starting in your Kali partition, you are going to open up Terminal, and you are going to start Metasploit. And also, let's open up another terminal and get our IP, just see what we are. Okay. That is our local IP, and we're going to need that later, so I'll just keep that highlighted. While MSF is booting up, let's also open up Terminal and get the local IP of my XP machine. Okay. Okay, so Metasploit is up and loaded. Alright, so let's start off. So we're going to use an exploit that's Windows browser Mozilla NS tree range. Okay, so I've loaded the exploit, and what this exploit's going to do is it's going to take advantage of a vulnerability in a Firefox that will then allow us to create our own processes, give ourselves our own rights on that target machine, and basically run the machine without the user ever knowing it. So let's take a look at what we need to do here. Okay, options. Okay, so we're going to need to set a few things. First, we're going to need to set the SRV host, and the SRV host, the IP is going to be set to my local IP on my Kali machine. So, and that's how I'll that's the IP I'll be listening on. So let's set that. Host 192.168.1.32. Okay. All right. Now, SRV port defaults to 8080. If you have port 80 open, you can go ahead and use that. It's probably better, but 8080 will be just fine for us right now. Also, something else that you might want to change is UriPort. Sorry, UriPath. Okay, so UriPath is going to be the extension of the link that we're going to be sending our victim, and so you're going to want to make it something that they would think to trust. So for just for comedy purposes, we're going to be naming this "Not a Dangerous Link." I also wish I could spell dangerous. You know what? Not dangerous URL. There we go. All right. So now we need to set the payload. Let's choose a payload. I am going to use Meterpreter, reverse TCP, and then I need to set my options for the local host for my payload, and we can actually leave local port as it is. So set lhost 192.168.1.32. Bam. All right. So what's next? I got a little notepad over here that documents my steps. So if I'm looking off to the side, I'm trying to remember what I'm doing. Actually, that's everything. All right. Let's have at it. Let's exploit. Bam. Okay. So as you can see, this looks perfectly normal, right? There's our URL that we're going to be sending to the victim, and it is not at all a dangerous URL. Let's copy that. So we said our reverse handler is set on port 4444. Yeah, that's 4 4s. And our URL is this one that we're going to, like I said, be sending to our victim. You can get that to them any way you want. Email, actually, any way you can get a URL to them. I, however, am working in a VM, so I'm going to copy and paste that right on over here. All right. So we're going to paste that. Oh man, that's right. I copied the port. Bear with me. Give me 1 sec. Copy. Paste. Okay, so what's happening now is, as you can see, the page is loading, and it says transferring data from 192.168.132, which is my Kali machine. The Kali machine has now done this. It's sent a couple of scripts over to the browser so that it can take effective advantage of the exploit. It has it's given us access to that session so that now we can see that session, and we then create another session called notepad.exe. So what we're going to do, now we need to escalate our rights. We need to escalate our privileges so that we can control their machines. So if I remember right, it's sessions I1. There we go. All right. So what that did is that gave us privileges. So now we have privileges on this machine, admin rights, and let's just test that. Let's see what we got here. Yep, that looks like it. There's the computer, there's the OS, there's the architecture, all that good stuff. And did I say Windows 7 earlier? I meant Windows XP. It does work on Windows 7 as well, but I couldn't get a copy of it, and oh well, what can you do? I'm pressed for time. So now we have access to the machine. So now we need to do what we came here for. We are going to make a keylogger. So first we're going to do is let me check my notes. Okay, yeah. Let's get a list of all the processes running. We're going to need to we're looking for this one. We're looking for Explorer exe. Okay, and what we need to do is we need to migrate to it. Because what happens is if a user restarts their computer, we can lose our process, and it can get reset, and our session can get closed. So by going through the explorer.exe, we can kind of prevent that from happening. Because if they do reset and all that good stuff, we'll still we can come back up with the explorer.exe, so we'll be notified when the system's back up. Like, it's all good stuff. So let's let me see what I got here. We're going to migrate over to Explorer's process ID. So and if you see here, 604, if I go up a bit, we migrated from 604 to 1872. 1872 is Explorer. 604 was, let me just show you right here. There it is. 604 is a notepad.exe. And if that looks familiar, that is because, going up a bit more, oh hey, look at that. Spawn a notepad.exe process to migrate to create a process to migrate to, and then we migrated to that process. So we've jumped from the process we created to explore.exe. Now what we want to do is, let me just make sure that I'm in that one. Okay. All right. Now we're going to deploy our keystroker. So we're going to do keystroker sniff. No, I think it's start. All right, starting the keystroke sniffer. So let's just go over here to Windows XP, and this URL does not have to stay open. Like once they opened it, they it happens pretty quickly. They're already infected, so even if they closed out of it, if our data got transferred, if the payload was delivered, they're infected. So I can just go ahead and close out of that. And I love being secure. It's really great. Actually, let me open up Notepad and do it on there. I sure hope no one is listening to the strokings of my keys right now. ... Alright, so go back over here, go to key scan, dump. Look at that, I love being secure, it's really great. I sure hope no one is listening to the stroking of my keys right now. So we can see everything that I typed in the XP machine because the key scanner is listening to the keystrokes that are being inputted into the machine. And I don't know if dump actually cancels it. Let's find out. Hi there. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is just checking to see if dump ends the keystroke process. Hi there. Okay, and also it looks like keyscan dump dumps between sessions. So whatever I typed before the first dump will not be in the next dump after that. It'll get wiped from the buffer probably. So let us take a look. Is there anything else? Okay, yeah, like I said, we're making some grave assumptions here. The Firefox is incredibly old, and there's little chance that anyone is still running it. There are a couple other ways that you could get access to someone's machine. You could do a reverse shell. If they have there are certain ports you could exploit. There's dozens of ways to get access to the machine, but the reason I chose the Mozilla Firefox one is it allows us to really just get access to the processes right there and then. Like, it's quick, it's easy, it's clean. That's why I chose it. But like I said, you know, if you have a lot of ports open, that can be exploited. 445 is one that comes to mind that can be exploited by MS03_26, I believe, and that can you can use an interpreter reverse shell to get into the person's system. And what you can even do from there is do a hash dump, get their passwords to any accounts that they might have on their machine. And I'm not talking about website accounts, like if I went to Google Gmail and it automatically logged me in. I'm talking about the system accounts, the login accounts. Okay, so I showed you how to gain access using a really old version of Firefox, Kali Linux, Metasploit, and how to get access to a system and create a backdoor on it, and then implement a keylogger. So the one thing I didn't talk about is how to defend against this. Obviously, update your browser. Like, that's the easiest thing, the best possible defense I can think of for that. Don't open strange URLs. The keyloggers are a bit tricky because normally your antivirus will pick them up, but there are always the ones that can't be noticed and just usually get passed by when scanned by a antivirus. So avoid like I said, avoid strange URLs. That's a pretty important security tip for pretty much anything. And hopefully you won't have a keylogger installed on your system unless one of your friends or family or coworkers has physical access and they wish to see what you do and your browsing habits. In which case, yeah, that's a different set of problems for a different video. So, all right, thanks guys.